Hello, good morning. Happy Saturday. And thank you very much for joining me today, for giving me the gift of your company. And in the next hour or so, you will walk away with three proven strategies to lead confidently, balance your life, and stay grounded without sacrificing your well being. So, what I'm going to teach you is, and I want to teach you as much as I possibly can in the next hour. So, please be connected, be present, and there is many things I would love to share, but I'll do my best to share as much as I can. And well, let's just start. Um, I want to thank you, as I said, for joining me and for committing to yourself, for showing up to yourself. And I'll like to share that if you stay with me at the end, you are gonna be receiving a gift from me. So very looking forward. Please stick to the end, and that's what I would like to share because I like to keep helping you developing the skills that you need. Okay, so I just want to give you a quick warning because I like to be very transparent. What you're gonna hear today, it's very new, it's unique. It may sound that it's even opposites of what you are aware of and what you know. So my invitation is please be open-minded and try to absorb as much as you can. And as you can see, maybe I may say stuff that it's even probably opposite. What does yoga or mindfulness has to do with emotional intelligence or leadership? What does this has to do with AI? So please be open-minded and try to absorb as much as you can. Now, because we are gonna be live, please feel free to ask all your questions in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to support you once I can respond. Okay, so all right. When I decided to share with you today, before we start, I want you to just think a little bit on what if you could lead with emotional intelligence, stay calm and confident, even in high pressure situations. What if you could do that? What if you could actually master the art of work life balance without guilt? Without guilt. What if you could use AI to supercharge your leadership and well being? And not only that, but also become the leader of the future today. What if you could do that? What if you could actually achieve the dream life that you want based on your own terms? And this is where we're going to jump into an inspiring quote from someone that I really admire and like, and is very well known around, Sheryl Sandberg. She has a quote that says, "We cannot change what we are not aware of. And once we are aware, we cannot help but change." So, very interesting and very inspiring because when we talked about today, you're going to learn and know many things that I'm hoping that you take away and you can change if you decide that it's the right step for you. Okay, so I want to start by sharing some statistics. I've been doing a lot of research for many years now in burnout and what especially women face. And what I have discovered is that unfortunately, burnout is becoming a bigger and bigger problem with time. So this report that I'm gonna be sharing some summary and insights today is based on the Women's Agenda and Vision report that is supported by the University of New South Wales Business School. And I'm going to give you just the high level insights, because this is actually the reason why it's very concerning, and that every woman should take action. So in this survey, in this study, they survey a lot of women, and it came out that 72% of women that were surveyed experienced burnout in the past year, which is very, very high, 72%. Before COVID and during COVID, it was around 58%, which was very high, but now it has increased to 72%. And the biggest insight is actually that you could believe that it's because of the slowing economy, but it is actually not that. The biggest barrier of women's success in their career is basically, the first thing is the lack of confidence, and the second is balancing work, career, and life, which is very interesting. The other one is that women work very long hours, and then they have difficult bosses, being underpaid, parenting responsibilities, and then workplace bullying. So if you're interested, the report is available, but just send me a message and I'm happy to share it. It was just released like 2 weeks ago. So that's one of the biggest insights that I got from it. Also in that report, it is expressed and said that there are top desired skills that women want to learn in the next couple of years. And I will explain in the next slide why within the next 2 years. But basically, there are top skills that women want to learn to keep developing and progressing in their career. And the first one is communication. The second one is empathy. The third one is resilience and adaptability. Fourth one is critical thinking, and last is collaboration. So these are the top 5 skills that women want to learn very, very, very fast. That's what they have identified. Now, if you notice, these are actually human or soft skills that are the priority. The more automation and the more AI is out there, and the more change happens around us, it's very interesting that the more skills that we need have to be with more human skills. So it's very insightful to know and see that the more tech and the more digital we go, the more human we have to be. So that's something really open-minded. Now, what I said that it's the timing and why is it 2 years is because in this report, and not only in this, but many other organizations and research and studies, like from Harvard Business School and the World Economic Forum, is that we are going into the next industrial revolution. AI is here to change the way we live, we work, and the way we do business. So there is a lot of implications when we work with AI. We are reshaping jobs and expectations, the way you work with others, the way you communicate with others. And this what's adding the urgency to upskill. Now, can you imagine? We have seen the challenges that women face. So women are navigating through this change, plus the caregiving responsibilities. And I said caregiving because it could be from young kids to elderly parents. So this is where it's very, very broad. Now, the report also emphasizes the need for the innate human capabilities over technical manipulations. So when you're thinking about AI, it's very important that, you learn some literacy, that you learn a little bit of framework and cybersecurity, but the more concerning part is the human side of it, which is ethical decisions, right? Strategic thinking, because AI cannot replace that. Okay, so that's what the timing and in the step of the next industrial revolution. So I want to, before we keep going, I want to share with you that if you are feeling that you are exhausted or that you are in burnout, or if you are part of that 72% of women that have felt burnout in the last 12 months, you are not alone in this. This is something that you can see is very common. It is more likely that happens to women than in men. Men also experience it, but women more. So I hear you and I feel you. I've been there not once or twice. It's just very tough to go through. So please remember that you are not alone in this, and that's something not to be embarrassed or ashamed of. It's something that you can acknowledge, and then look for the help that you need in order to overcome it, right? So I just want to let you know that I know that some of you may feel in this situation. Okay, so just very quickly, I'd like to restate the reason why you are here. So if you are here, is because you are open-minded, enthusiastic, and willing to step out of your comfort zone because you want to learn new things and new ways. You want to pursue personal growth and improve your life. You want to prioritize a balanced approach and a new way to reach your goals. You are seeking for knowledge and enhancement of the future-ready skills or AI skills, and you are committed. And you are already committed by just showing up today on a Saturday here in Australia time. Now, this is not for you if you love to just, figuring out everything in yourself, if you want to keep being in the surviving mode. This is not for you if you're 150% satisfied with your life, with your career, with your leadership skills. This is not for you if you're looking for a quick fix or a magic pill, because you have to put the work in it like everything in life. This is not for you if you don't want to boost your confidence, your self-esteem, or leadership presence. And this is definitely not for you if you want a traditional approach on how things have been done for a very long time. So the good news is, if that's not you, you are in the right place. So thank you so much again for joining, and let's just dive in on what I want to share with you today. So why am I doing this? This is a lot of people ask me, why are you doing this? Well, first, I have been there. I experienced it, and I was in that burnout cycle for many years. And it's something that I don't want other women to go through. And that's why I'm on a mission now to empower other women to leave that cycle and be aware that they can thrive and not only survive. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. The leadership 5.0 is the next level of leadership. It's the leadership that is not only about performance, it is about emotional intelligence, it's about presence, it's about confidence, it's about empathy. And that's the reason why those skills are very much in need for this time. Now, if I'm allowed to share, if I can share a little bit of me, because then you can understand where I'm coming from. So this is me some years back when I got my first management role. Of course, I was very happy that I have achieved one of my dreams of becoming a leader. I was studying, getting awards, traveling around the world. Yes, I do love food. I do love eating, and I enjoy going around and experiencing different cultures, different foods. So, sadly, that lifestyle is not sustainable, right? You pay a very, very high cost for that. So unfortunately, burnout hit me, and it was very hard for me to, go out of it. So what I have now experienced after my transformation was that I'm still traveling. I'm still enjoying my food, because everyone that knows me knows that I do love to eat a lot. I studied and became a certified yoga advanced teacher training, and my new life cannot go out without my yoga and my still prioritizing my work and my career, and now my passion, that is helping other women, right? Okay, so how did I come through this, right? So this is what got me here right now. I've been burnout. I developed this passion. I've been keeping studying in AI courses and AI certifications. I wrote a book and I'm just spreading the word. I really want women to know that they do not need to compromise their well-being to be happy, to be successful, and that's the reason why I love what I do. I'm also being invited to a lot of speaking opportunities. The next one I have coming up is in March in Sydney, in the Wellness Conference and Expo, and I'm very proud to share that I'm a Global Wellness Institute ambassador. They are the biggest research in the world that promotes wellness and then have all these scientific studies backing up the alternative ways of living, that how that can actually enhance your life, right? So that's why I just, this is the reason why I love to do this. And I want to share very quickly the 3 steps that the lifestyle formula have taught me, right? Have helped my own transformation. So the first one is the mind. Step number 1 is the mind. The step number 2 is the body. And the step number 3 is the spirit. Now, what does this has to do with leadership? What does this has to do with AI? Well, because we know now that we need human skills more, because we know now that it's the leadership, next level of leadership has to do with empathy, that has to do with presence, that has to do with emotional intelligence. It starts from here, from yourself. Okay? So, in order for you to make a change and a transformation, you have to start with you. So, this is the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula, as I like to call it. And this has helped me in like my whole transformation and got me where I am here now. But this one has not only helped me, it has helped other women that I have had the pleasure to work with. So, this is another person that has experienced the lifestyle, the Thrivee lifestyle. Her name is Tatiana. And through working with her, she experienced the biggest shift, which is her mindset shift. So you can see that, like, you know that you are happy, that you are thriving, and that, but in reality, there is always something that our heart wishes. So when she started working with me, she discovered more things about herself. And one of them was that she really, really had a big mindset shift. So that's what she experienced when she tried the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula. And well, let's just dive in, right? Let me just start with the first strategy, and that I'm really hoping that you can take this away with you. And this is where I'm going to ask you to be seeing the things from a different angle. The first thing is, well, we're going to talk about the first strategy. What does the first step of the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula, which is the mind, has to do with emotional intelligence? Mind, emotions are felt. Emotions are not taught. What does this has to do with that, right? And how does this actually connects to working with other people, inspiring your teams? And look, I'm sharing about in the professional environment, but definitely you can apply all this at home, right? At home and in your life. So mastering your emotions is what unlocks your leadership potential. This is how you start the breakthrough to that life change and to that leadership. Okay, so let's just set the ground in terms of the definition of emotional intelligence, because when you Google and look for emotional intelligence, and many of us probably have studied emotional intelligence, there is so much study, so much research, and which is of course really good. But let's just align today for the sake of understanding and very basic. Let's just stick with the Oxford Dictionary of Oxford, the emotional intelligence leadership. And what emotional intelligence is defined is as the capacity to be aware and control and express one's emotions and handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Now, I have lettered those three squares there. Aware, which is the awareness. Second is owns emotions. We start from within. And the third part that I can get from here is empathetically. And this is the critical part of the definition, right? So let me just share a quick story on how you can relate to this, right? Because if you have kids, young kids, and or if you have taken care of your nephews or with your cousins, this is what actually happens, right? So you are in the middle of a tantrum, you are in the middle of demands, you are in the middle of very stressful moments, and then you just want to scream. That who has felt that? Like, it's very easy to feel that way. And then the way you feel there and the way you control yourself, that's how the kids around you are going to respond to you or are going to react to you. So if you scream, then of course they are going to scream. And have you ever also noticed when you start screaming and they see you screaming, they just go, why is she screaming? And they stop screaming? Well, that is actually a way to control your emotions and manage your emotions, right? And that's actually what happens in real life. Now, let's just move this example to the work and leadership environment. I'm sure you have experienced leaders where you go to some meetings and everyone is quiet and is calm, and because the energy and what that leader projects is either peace or is either stress or is either anger or is either passion. So that is emotional intelligence at its peak. How you show up with your own emotions, that's how you show up to the others, and that's how others will respond to you as well. So this is the typical scenario. Now, what I want to share with you today is the first one of the concepts in yoga that is called ahimsa. And for this, you really have to think about rewiring your mind, right? Because as I said before, these emotions don't start in the brain. They are feelings. So, and it starts with self-awareness. So ahimsa means non-harming and non-violence. In other words, it's kindness and compassion. Now, what do you mean kindness and compassion when I'm all stressed and I'm in a meeting and I have to present to the board or something like that? Well, the very interesting point about this concept, this yogic concept, is that you have to be kind first to yourself and then to others. So can you imagine the magic and the shift that happens when you apply kindness? Everything changes. You develop empathy, which is one of the skills that women want to learn, and that it takes us so long, and that we have to break barriers all the time. Women are not emotionally intelligent. Women are too emotional. They cannot have that CEO job. So this is very, very interesting perspective to see. And it's one of the top leadership skills. Again, not only it's what we know and experience every day, but also a lot of studies out there mention it, and a lot of leadership programs offer it because it's very, very important, especially in this digital world and in this AI automation environment that we live in. So this is a mindset change. This is one of the first mindset changes that you have to do in order to build that trust, to have emotional safety, and provide that psychological safety in your work environment, to have a deeper influence within others when you are working with them. And this is what's going to inspire your team at the end of the day. So the exercise I would like you to do is when you go to your next meeting is to practice that kindness. When you practice that kindness in a meeting setting, you are going to actually develop that empathetic listening. And I'm sure it's not the first time you hear about this concept, but the way you are going to approach it is the the new thing, the thing that I'm inviting you to try. So remember kindness to you and kindness to the others. So in your next meeting, when someone has something to say, just pause, make eye contact, and repeat back the point that that person is saying or is sharing. So you reframe back what they said. So you say, for example, so you are saying this deadline feels tight, right? So when you repeat back to them with empathy, with that kindness, with that compassion, that's when the shift happens. When people feels heard, they step up and shine. So try to do this, and the result is gonna shock you. Because sometimes, and what has happened to me is when you say, so you're saying that this deadline feels tight, then they go, well, actually, yes, it does, but I can make it work. That's the shift. That's what's there for you when you apply kindness. Now, just as a general data point that I like always to share is that emotional intelligence is historically known and historically linked to performance. So the leaders that are more or high emotional intelligent are the ones that perform the best, are the ones that boost the performance in their culture compared to those that don't. So team success, leadership effectiveness is strongly linked to emotional intelligence skill. The higher your emotional intelligence is, the top performer you're going to become, and you're going to create a better environment for everyone around you. This is a study from Project Aristotle, and this is recent from 2024. So there is a very strong correlation between emotional intelligence and team success and performance. Now, when we talk about team and when we talk about people and managing that interpersonal relationships, we are also inviting people to go and give their best. And when we do that, you open the door for creativity, which is also higher with empathetic leaders. And also you increase that engagement in your workplace. So the culture also ramps up and skyrockets very, 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 very strong. Okay, so who's ready for the next strategy? So we have talked about emotional intelligence, having the mindset change of applying kindness towards you and towards others. Now, the reality is that's the first step to move away from the surviving mode to the thriving mode. But in all transparency, it does not gonna be enough, right? If you don't have the energy to practice it. And this is where the second step of the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula comes in. Because here is the thing, you can lead from the heart, you can be empathetic, you can be the emotional intelligent leader that you wish to be, but it's not gonna be helpful if you are running on low, if you don't have the energy and the power to keep going through the days. Okay? So now what I'm gonna share is, how do we protect our energy? Our body. And this is to kickstart your work-life balance and reclaim your energy. So let's dive into the next step of the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula. And I want you to picture this, right? Because I'm sure this has happened to many of us again. You are in bed, 10 p.m., and you just have no idea where did they go. You just know what happened today. Did I do what I was supposed to be doing? Did I take the minute notes of that session? Did I, took the kids to wherever I had to? Did I cancel that meeting because did I skip lunch? And it's just a tumble of thoughts and stressors that go when you go to bed. So this is what we experience, right, in everyday life. So you just do not know how you got there. And worse is sometimes you don't even know how to get out of it. So here's how to get out of it. And again, this is probably not revolutionary, but it's setting boundaries. You really, really, really have to learn to say no. And you wanna maybe write this down. Saying no without guilt is the first superpower for work-life balance. Saying no without guilt is a superpower for you to achieve that work-life balance that you dream of. You gotta think about it this way. Every time you say yes to whatever comes your way, you're saying no to yourself. And that's not being kind to you. Remember kindness? So please learn to say no. I'm going to give you here a couple of scripts that you can use because, again, you have to be kind when you say no. Is thank you, but I can take that on right now. Or I'll love to help, but my plate is full until next week and we prioritize then. So that is an example on how you can practice to say no. So for next week coming, my invitation is to write down one task you're going to start saying no and free up 1 hour of your time. Please think, what will you do with 1 more hour in your week? What will you do with that time? Will you sleep 1 hour more? Will you go for a walk? Will you go to the gym? Will you dedicate an hour for your self-care routine? So remember, this no is going to give you the energy you need to live and lead fully. You cannot run in low. You need to rest. You need to charge your body. There is a wonderful book that it's called the Body Keeps the Score, and this is actually what this is it. You really need to protect your body, care for your body, and that's why it's the second step for this new lifestyle. Now, just as a reference point, you may think that not sleeping well is probably something that happens a few times, but when it becomes a consistent issue, that is like very, very tough to keep accumulating in your body. So there is some statistic. I just got this as well. This was in February this year, where studies reflect that women are more likely to experience insomnia from 1 to 4 to 2 times more than men. And women are more likely to report short sleep, poor quality of sleep, and the ones that affect the daytime symptoms associated with poor sleep. So there is a very good report. It's a bit old, from 2021, in the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, but there is a strong link between insomnia and poor quality of sleep against people that sleep well, with many, many health consequences, right? Hypertension, obesity, many, many things. So if you want to know more about how not sleeping impacts your health, you can look at this type of research. Okay, so next strategy. All right, so we know we need to control our emotions. We have a tool, a strategy to do that. First step. Second step is you protect your energy, you put boundaries. But the reality again is life is tough. Sometimes you're not going to be able to say no. And sometimes you cannot escape from the reality and from the challenges that life throws at you. So things are going to happen. So it's not that we live in a perfect world. So I'm not even also naive, right? Things are going to happen. But this is where the third step of my Thrivee Lifestyle Formula comes into play, which is the spirit. Now, remember, the spirit has nothing to do with what you know already. Please try to be open and listen to this. A spirit is the connection, a deeper connection to the self. Has nothing to do with any religious or anything, right? And there is many ways to practice, to connect with yourself. And meditation is one of them. But mindfulness is a very now known practice that not many knows how to do well. But mindfulness, and this is actually what helps you build that resilience and stay grounded in moments of chaos. So because chaos is going to happen, we know that life is life, and that's what life is. So just like we did before, let's just agree on a definition for mindfulness. So mindfulness is paying full attention to what is going in around you in a deliberative and open-minded and non-judgmental way. Many people say mindfulness is being present, which I agree with that. So it is being there, but being aware of what's happening in you and around you in a non-judgmental way. This is the critical part of it, because it's very, very, very where you can demonstrate that kindness. You do not jump into conclusions, right? You don't judge. You are present and just there. You are just there. This is another definition from the Health Direct in Australia. So there's many of them around, but okay. I want to share now 4 mindful practices to enhance that resilience when things happen in your life and at work. Okay? So one of the first mindful practices and mindful approach that you can do is practicing acceptance. Practice acceptance. Acknowledge the challenges without resistance. The faster you accept that there is no option, the more quicker you move forward and the more fast you get to the outcome that you want. Here's an example. You have a new boss, or you didn't get the job that you wanted, that you applied for. Just accept it and move on. Don't ruminate. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge others. Be kind to you. Practice acceptance. The faster you accept the things that are going in your life right now, the more you move away and move on with it. Now, the second part is, the second approach, the second practice is positive reframing. And this is very, very hard, I know. Our brain is naturally programmed. I don't want to say to be negative, but it's to protect ourselves. That's the job of our brain. And our brain is going to bring us the risks of every situation, of anything that comes into us. Their job is to protect us. So when something happens, you only jump into the negative straight away. So your job, how you control your emotional response and how you see things differently, is positive reframing. You have to learn to see setbacks as growth opportunities. The next one, and this is a very big one, and especially for women, we are very, like in a community, we are very close to each other, but sometimes we do not rely on each other as much as we could. And I believe it's a very big missed opportunity. So develop a support system. Build a community, talk to someone for strength and advice. Get that support system in place, which you can rely and trust on and share what's going on. And just by speaking about it and talking through it, it's just very, very helpful. That's another practice that you can do to enhance your resilience. And the last one is stress reduction techniques. There are many ways to reduce stress. You need to find the one that works for you. You need to find whatever tool is there for you. You stick with it. you really need to manage stress effectively. So there are many ways, many techniques. Many people like to go to the gym, go for a run, go for a massage, meditation. This is where I'm gonna put my Joey hat on. Meditation is one of the techniques that you can learn to manage your stress. So this is 4 ways you can do, and I'm inviting you to apply and be mindful of when you experience those challenges that life throws at you. So this is the scenario, right? You have a lot of stress. You have a deadline for a project. Everyone comes to you. Everyone wants your support. Everyone needs your approval. Everyone needs your thoughts. Everyone. So what you do is go through the steps. Number 1, I'm going to accept the situation. Yes, the deadline of the project is here. Done. What do we do now? Then, positive reframing. Yes, we might not be delivering what we planned for. Get the support system in place. Hey, team, what can we do to make this work? Positive reframing with you and your team. And then once you have that, the stress levels are going to reduce because you are in control of the situation. No, the situation is going to be in control of you. Okay? So this is how you can approach this situation of challenges. And I like to call it to activate the Zen mode. So I love to call it activate the Zen mode. There is a quote from Brené Brown. I don't know if everyone is familiar with her work and her story, but that is just the biggest example of resilience that probably I could ever share or know about. She says that we will struggle. We all will fall. We will all know what it means to be both brave and brokenhearted. So again, you are not alone in this. Life is not perfect. This is how you respond to it. And this is why I wanted to share with you today the different tools that you can use in your everyday life and your everyday work. So now it's time to thrive, not just survive. Okay, so let's just put everything together. We have gone over a hack to master emotional intelligence. You're going to start with kindness towards you, towards yourself, towards you, and towards others. And that's going to help you to develop that empathy and that emotional intelligence. Then you're going to protect your energy because you need that stamina in your body to keep going and to be there for you, for your family, for your team. And last, you are going to have the tools to respond, not to react to the different situations that life throws at you through resilience, with resilience through mindfulness. So that's how we put it all together. Now, what does this actually mean is, remember, we're applying the mind, body, spirit formula to live that balanced and happy life you want to live and to become the future ready leader you want to be today. You can start from today. Okay, so how do we move from surviving mode to thriving mode, right? Mindset. Mind. We start with the mind. We're going to move from a reactive approach to a more intentional approach. Instead of being drained and being a people pleaser, we're going to have energy. We're going to be energized and we're going to be honoring our boundaries. And instead of feeling that self-doubt with ourselves, we're going to have clarity and strength. This is how you move from the surviving to thriving mode. Applying mind, body, spirit formula, you are going to get there in your life and in work. Now, the biggest takeaway I guess you can get from today's session is that thriving is not a concept, it's a choice. You just don't go and thrive, you choose to thrive. Okay? So what the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula has done for me again is it has improved my sleep. I have alleviated my stress. I have now a very, very nice balanced lifestyle. By the way, today is International Yoga Day. So at 11, I'm going to a 3-hour yoga workshop and enjoy my yogi day. It has increased my emotional intelligence. It has enhanced my empathy with others. And the interesting part here is like you build that trust and that strength with your team members. And this is very, very helpful because you do not only do it at your direct report level, you also do it at your peer level and at the above level, which is, of course, very important for your career progression and success. It has helped me to achieve that work-life balance, foster those professional relationships, and promote that inclusive leadership. And I don't even want to say about personal relationships. I think I'm the happiest and fulfilled I've ever been in my whole existence. Also, the Thrivee lifestyle has encouraged me that mindset of continuous learning. I've always been a nerd and a learner, but that mindset and that yogi style really, really, really puts us on the continuous learning mode on. You are always going to have to learn. Things change, and especially AI. So you need to redefine those skills in the AI era. And it has definitely shaped a new purpose. This is the reason why I'm here today, why I'm sharing with you this today. And incorporating mindfulness has definitely also allowed me to build that resilience in times of high performance and has promoted clarity and a stronger sense of purpose again with work. And when people get exposed to this, it's the response that I get is just amazing. So I've had the opportunity, as I was saying, to share what Thrivee Lifestyle Formula is, what wellness is. And I love when people, and especially women, go blind, like they just are blind away with all this knowledge and how they get inspired to do something with their lives. So I just actually have the great opportunity to present to a group of gorgeous women in Argentina. And that's the positive response. And now I want to introduce you to another business owner. Her name is Sol. So she, as a business owner, you can imagine like the stress that you get, the rush lifestyle you need, and you still have your life, right? So when she started working with me and discovered the Thrivee lifestyle was also something that she was blown away with. She could not believe how all the areas in your life have an impact as on yourself. And you may believe that you discover what is there other than just work, right? So very, very interesting. One of her highlights or lessons was that she could develop that self-confidence that she needed for her business, for growing her business, and improve her interpersonal relationships. She could clarify her goals and without any frustrations. I remember her words. She said, without any frustration, Laura, I can believe this was like, it's brilliant, right? So for whoever that is connected with me in LinkedIn, I have posted her story video, I don't know, some weeks back, but please send me a message and I can send you the post where you can actually see Sol's video. Okay, so now, as this is now the question I have for you. What's your story? What is your story? Are you someone that is really in burnout? What is holding you back from the life that you want? What is holding you back from that work-life balance and that happiness and that fulfillment? That leadership, that the leader that you want to show up every day. Is it the lack of support of a mentor? Is it your caregiving expectations? Is it your perfectionism and your guilt? Is it imposter syndrome? Or is it burnout? Or are you part of that 72% of women that are burnout? What is it? The good news is that, and I haven't forgotten about this, the good news is that there is a path, there is a way, and this is where my gift comes to you. So there is a way, and I would like to reward you for being here and showing up today. And what I would like to do is to make you an invitation of taking action. You have two choices. Do you want to stay in the surviving mode, or you want to go in the thriving mode? Thriving is a choice. It takes work and effort. So this is what I love to give you today, is a complimentary one-on-one session with me, where we're going to go through what's really, really going on with you. This breakthrough leadership session is going to be a one-on-one private time where we're going to pause, we're going to reflect on what's holding you back from surviving to truly thriving. Now, spots are limited. So please, I have opened my schedule for the next 2 days, and jump in if this feels right for you. Book a time with me and take action. Make that choice. The only thing you got to do is you can scan the QR code here or go to thrivelotus.com.au, apply. This breakthrough leadership session is for you. If you really want to create lasting transformation with guidance and clarity, if you are ready to take a risk in your life and make the changes that you need to get out of the situation that you are in with the survival mode, I invite you to apply. If you want me to give a specific thriving plan to create the life that you dream and become the leader that you want, please take action today and don't hesitate to book this breakthrough leadership session with me and apply for my Thrive Leadership 5.0 program. This is for women only that want to make the choice to thrive, not just survive. We'll explore what's happening in your life, what you've been craving for, and whether the Thrive Leadership 5.0 program is the right next step for you. Before we wrap up, I want to say thank you very much for giving me your Saturday. And there are a lot of recommendations and references that you can actually see in my LinkedIn profile. You can go and look at them, what people say about what it is to work with me. And the things that I ask when you apply for the program is the following 3. You must be serious about wanting to transform your life or leadership. You must be on the pursuit of personal growth and self-improvement. You must be willing to step out of your comfort zone. That's what you need to be in the program. I'm going to share with you another quote from another amazing woman that is very worldwide known, which is Melinda Gates. One of the ones that is one of my favorites is when she says, "What great changes have not been ambitious." So if your ambition is to become the best version of yourself, to become the future leader today in this year's window, with AI and automation, make a decision. And those ambitions are very valid. And those ambitions are ambitions now, but are actually dreams that you can achieve. Now, hey, Laura, you never said anything about AI. What's going on with the topic on AI? Well, we talked about AI skills, which are human skills that we need in this digital era. But like everything, when you learn something when you practice it, right? We do learn by practicing and by doing it. So within the Thrive Leadership 5.0 program, there is, of course, AI, because we live with it, we coexist with it. And I'm very, very happy and proud to share and give you a little bit of a glimpse of what happens within our program. So this is Thrivee AI Coach. This is your 24/7 wellness and leadership ally. She's there for you to support you 24/7. This is the beautiful of technology, right? And she's been trained with the Thrivee Lifestyle Formula. She's been trained with that kindness. She is there with the only goal to support you in those challenging times that you will need clarity, that you will need that to develop and grow that resilience. And when you use Thrivee in your life, you are actually learning to live with it. It's not to replace anything, it's to complement. You can see her as your yogi mindset coach or your AI savvy strategist that can support you in those moments. So Thrivee AI Coach is part of the program, and she's there, made with lot of lot of love and effort for you. And when you learn to live with AI, practice AI, then you are gonna be able to demonstrate your skills, right? Okay. Well, I think we are spot on with the time. Just please remember, you don't have to choose between leadership and well-being. You get to have both. You get to have both. You can thrive enough of surviving. And again, thank you very much for giving me your time this morning. And I would love to be part of your leadership and wellness journey. Remember, thrivelotus.com.au/apply. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.